Hey everybody, JitteryJay here. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. You see the title. 2025 already sucks. I can concur with that title. After everything that's been going on with the blizzard and the weather, um, temperatures dropping down below zero, uh, having to put my dog down a couple days ago, idiot trying to drive or blow up a cyber truck, people driving into crowds. 2025 has been absolutely crazy already, and it's only going to get worse. I can feel it. Anyway, we're here to check out Zoltan Kaszas. This is 2025 already sucks. Um, Let me get this down. Turn this on. Before we get started, of course, we're gonna hit Zoltan with a like and subscribe. I keep saying Kaszas. It's Kaszas. I'm pretty sure it's Kaszas. Um, I keep pronouncing that wrong. I don't know why. Anyway, we're gonna jump right into this and check this out. But let's get into it.
You came here to see him. Put your hands together for Zoltan Kaszas.
See, it's Kaszas.
What's up, everyone? Yeah? All right. Thank you. One more time for Ray. Make him feel welcome. There he is. How's it going, Peter? Good to see you. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We sold out the Shank. All right. Thank you. I hope everyone has a seat. If you don't, I'm sorry. But there's a bunch of people there. Wow, this isn't. I remember the first time we came, and there was a lot of seats available, and so it's nice. We sold out tomorrow too. That's so good. I'm still surprised when people show up. You know, like, do you ever think life is just a big prank on you, and you're like, oh no, like a birthday?
I've felt that many times over the years. This is all just a nightmare, and I'm gonna wake up one day. You know, it's been in my head for 30 some years. That thought. So I get what he's saying with that one.
Life is just a big prank on you, and you're like, oh no, like a birthday party, everyone's RSVP'd, and then you just have that bad dream. You're like, what if no one shows? And it's just me in the backyard with my own cake. I have that thought about this, about showing up and then no one's here. It's just me and a bartender going, what do we do? And I'm like, start drinking, apparently, because this is sad. But thank you guys.
I feel you. I hate to keep pausing. I have that thought every time I go to do a video. To be honest, uh, it's that little nagging voice in the back of your head. It's constantly telling you you're not good enough. You know what I mean? Uh, that's what that thought is. It's that little voice in the back of your head telling you that everybody's out to get you and you're not good enough. I've dealt with that voice for a long time. We've come to terms. Anyway,
And I'm like, start drinking, apparently, because this is sad. But thank you guys so much for coming. This is my first show of the new year, and I already, ready to shake off some holiday rust. I flew in today, and I got a migraine immediately. I haven't had a migraine in so long, and don't worry, I've taken 3 Advil. I've been drinking nothing but water, and before I came up here, I'm like, I might faint. And so if that does happen, it's not a bit. All right, send help, okay? I don't want some moment where like, oh, he's getting real experimental. Trying out some physical comedy. Usually he just stands in place, but he's getting a little more, no. EMTs immediately. And I did get health insurance this year, but it doesn't kick in until February, so like, the cheaper hospital, please, all right? But I like it. I like coming out here because it's California on fire, and you guys the opposite.
yeah, that's the other thing that I forgot to mention. The wildfires out in California. It's it's like if it's not one extreme, it's another. They go from the fires in California to the blizzards around on the rest of the country. It's crazy. I thought somebody said something about people were setting these fires. It's unreal. You know what I mean? It said something about someone was arrested with a blowtorch. I remember seeing that. I can't remember what site it was on, but it's crazy.
I like it. I like coming out here because it's California on fire, and you guys the opposite. Isn't that nice? Isn't that so cool? You're like, oh, we could use some of this out there. A little dusting of I feel like snow would put out fire, right? A little bit. That would put out some fire. Isn't that weird? That's how the world works. Like, most of the country's just frozen. California's on fire. And it's like, man, if we could have a little of that here and a little of this heat over there, we could have a nice winter right there. It's kind of like when you're in public and you see like a guy with like no chin and then like another guy with like too much chin. And then you're like, man, if we could take some of that guy's chin and give it to that guy, we could have two normal-looking fellas here. But instead, we have a cartoon in front of us, you know? So yeah, it's I'm glad to be out of there. I'm glad that we're here for the weekend. San Diego's fine, but I've been watching the LA fires, and it's crazy. A lot of celebrities lost their homes, which I'm not a fan of anyone losing their homes. Like, I read the list of the celebrities that have lost their homes, and like a lot, I feel bad for all of them, but there are some that I feel less bad for. I feel guilty even saying that out loud, but I was reading the list and I felt bad for all of them, but there was varying degrees of the amount. Like, I was reading the list and like Mandy Moore lost her house. I'm like, I like Mandy Moore. She never did nothing to nobody. She's just a sweet girl. She wants to sing her pop songs, do a little acting. Let her do some acting. And she lost her house. I'm like, I feel bad for Mandy Moore. And then I read Paris Hilton. I'm like, all right. Like I still felt bad, but I'm like, that's bad, you know?
Yeah, she's an heiress. She can afford to rebuild everything from the ground up. And then so, many times over, probably. But, yeah, I get what he's saying.
Like, I still felt bad, but I'm like, that's bad, you know? She has a lot of places she can stay, yeah?
Right?
Her last name's Hilton. I don't know if you know why she has that last name. There's a lot of places to go.
Right?
I would feel worse if her last name was La Quinta Inn and Suites. Like, I'd be like, oh no, she's gonna stay at a La Quinta. But those are nice hotels that she has to go to. And then I read Billy Crystal lost his house. I'm like, I like Billy Crystal. I watched all of City Slickers, watched both of them. He hosted the Oscars all those years. Incredibly talented, sing, dance. He's funny. I love Billy Crystal. I'm like, I don't.
See, I never did see who all was affected by that. I know a lot of people were affected. They were talking about a death toll at one point, and I can't remember what it was. Right off the top of my head, but it was climbing at that point. Just people not getting out of the way of this shit. It's crazy. It's not something to play with, and people don't understand that.
The Oscars all those years. Incredibly talented, sing, dance. He's funny. I love Billy Crystal.
Then you got some people that don't really have any means to take everything they own somewhere else, or any means to survive other than where they're staying. As people live paycheck to paycheck, I feel bad for. Not these actors that can afford to rebuild. You know what I mean? I feel bad for the little man that has to deal with all that. It's crazy.
He hosted the Oscars all those years. Incredibly talented, sing, dance. He's funny. I love Billy Crystal. I'm like, I don't want him to lose his house. And then I read Ben Affleck lost it, and I was like, you know, like, I don't know what it is about Ben Affleck, but when he's sad, I'm happy. I don't know what Ben Affleck did to anybody, but just when he's miserable, I'm like, yeah, dude, like. Every time he like slammed the door on J-Lo and was like, I'm like, nice. That's what. I don't know what that man did, but when he's happy, I'm not. And when he's bummed out, I'm like, good. You know? But yeah, I was watching all the fires. They kept doing
I know
press
a couple people
conferences.
like that.
That's my favorite part of a natural disaster. They just keep doing press conferences. They feel like, oh, the people need the information. But there's no information. Just the mayor comes out in his work jacket. That's all that. That's my favorite part of natural disasters is politicians have to put on their work clothes to talk to the public like they're out there doing the stuff,
Right.
you know? Like the mayor of Pasadena put on this like tactical fire jacket. It said mayor on it. It was like he just got down hosing something
Pander
off.
to the people, right?
Like, I gotta get back out there, but I just wanted to give you some information. That's my favorite. Like remember, I forget, it was probably like a hurricane or something in Florida, but DeSantis put on his big white boots. Do you remember that? But he was like, is this what working people wear? Yeah.
I remember that.
He should fire his whole staff, because his whole staff was like, yeah.
I remember seeing memes about that on Facebook.
Yeah. He should fire his whole staff, because his whole staff was like, yeah, that's what working people wear, man. Just white boots, knee high. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to want to tuck your jeans into those. That's what you should do. And then they come out. I'm one of the people. And they're like, dude, you're not doing nothing, all right? You cut the budget. That's why we're in this mess. So I love watching the press conferences. I love the interpreters. They always have a sign language interpreter next to the press conference. And I don't know, like I've watched so many of them, and they're all different interpreters, and they're all crazy with, like, they're so into it. And it's weird because I've seen people talk in sign language in real life, and it's not like that. I don't know if you've ever been out in public and watched.
It all depends on emotion. Emotion can make you more animated when you're signing. My stepdaughter is deaf, and my wife signs to her all the time. And the more we'll just say that they bicker a little bit. The more that they get into it, the more animated they become, and it's crazy to watch. So yeah, it all depends on the emotion that's felt. If the signer is feeling some emotion, they're going to be more animated.
And it's not like that. I don't know if you've ever been out in public and watched two people communicate with sign, but it's just discreet. It's just, and I'm like, oh, they're speaking in sign language. That's kind of neat. You don't see that every day. But in the press conference, it's just blah, 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 blah. It's almost like condescending. I think it feels like they're mocking the person talking. Like the mayor's like, we have help coming. Oh, they have help coming. Like it's like their version of an eye roll, Like, there's nothing we could have done to prevent it. She says there's nothing they could have done to prevent any of it. I'm glad you guys laughed at these.
You got a point.
Might be easier because it's snowing outside. I don't know. I thought of these on the plane right out here. It's been a wild year. And we just got started. We're like 11 days in. 11 days in, and it's already fires and drones and terrorists. I didn't know they had New Year's resolutions.
Forgot about the drones, too.
Did you? We're like, well, I'm going to the gym tomorrow. I'm like, I got to do something horrible tomorrow. And you're like, you're not supposed to have New Year's resolutions. That's for us. There's terrorists out there. I didn't know the guy that blew up the Cybertruck in front of the Trump thing. Remember that? He didn't even. I forgot that there can just be bad terrorists. Like, you can be bad at terrorism. Like, he tried to hurt lots of people. He killed nobody but himself. He barely hurt the truck.
Right.
I think the truck's gonna be okay. I think they're like, yeah, we'll put a new tailgate on it. That'll be all right. Like,
They
that's so
contain the
embarrassing.
blast. Those are bulletproof. They're made to withstand this shit. It's it's been crazy seeing all the videos coming across YouTube on it. I don't watch the news, but I pay attention to what comes out on YouTube from the different news stations. Just as a way to what do you call it? A way to keep my finger on things. Especially these days with everything getting so damn crazy. You almost have to. It gets my blood boiling, but like I said, you almost have to.
Yeah, we'll put a new tailgate on it. That'll be all right. Like, that's so embarrassing. I wonder if he's embarrassed, like, in the afterlife. Like, he's like, I wonder if the other terrorists give him a hard time. Like, you didn't even kill anybody. And he's like, I tried. Like, can you imagine that? Like, you give up your life. You're like, oh, I'm going to kill everybody. Then, boom. And then all that happens is, like, an insurance adjuster comes out. Everyone's fine. There's just a State Farm car parked. Taking photos. Writing in his clipboard. Yep, here's your check. You can fix your awning. You'll be all right. It'd be so embarrassing, man. Oh. Yeah, so that's been the year. That's so far. We're 10 days in, and I hope it gets boring quick. I hope every day from here until the arrest just be boring. I'm ready for a good boring year of like, what happened? Nothing. Just weather, and then it was fine. I don't know. We're just going to keep giggling until it comes here. I'm glad we don't own. That's what I was glad. We rent a place, and I'm like, and the people say, don't rent, because it's bad. You're throwing your money away, which is true. But if the house catches on fire, I'll be like, well, I'll get out of there. And then once we leave, we're like, I guess we're done there. And then and mosey on.
Got a point.
Good luck with that, Judith. It's my landlord's name, Judith. She's a nice lady. I don't want her to be stuck with a bill, but also, you know, 'tis the risk of homeownership. But yeah, I've had a great time here. I came in yesterday, and I like it. It feels warm. You guys feel like a flannel shirt. That's what Milwaukee feels like. I've been here like 4 times, and I just feel comfortable. I just want to put on a flannel shirt and get a beer. I want to watch a game. I wish I'm enjoying doing the show, but also if we didn't have a show right now, I'd love to be at a bar looking at a giant TV and just eating cheese curds and having Miller High Lifes. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like, you guys, Wisconsin is the most alcohol consumption, I believe, in the universe. I think that was an article that came out in the news. They're like, no, we went to other planets, and they're not even close. But here's the thing, though. You guys keep it chill. Like, it's not a wild city. You guys are hammered, but everyone's just, hi. You guys drink like you keep it together, like, because if you don't, someone's going to make you stop or something, you know? That's how you guys drink. Like, I got a buddy back home. He drinks a ton. My buddy Dane, he drinks a lot, but he's never a problem. And I'm like, how are you never a problem? And he's like, I just don't want my wife to make me quit. So I always keep it together. And I'm like, that's what they're doing in Wisconsin. That's an entire state of people keeping it together. And I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you for doing that. But yeah, I had a good day. Went to, I'm not staying at this hotel, but I had breakfast there. I keep getting the name wrong. The Pfister. Yeah, we went over there. I'm not staying at that fancy hotel, but I'm down the street, and I was looking up a breakfast place, and I'm like, I'll go to another hotel to have breakfast. I have no shame in leaving my hotel. And they're like, would you like the free continental? I'm like, no, I'm going to a better one right over there. So I went over there, beautiful hotel. They got the painting on the thing. The restaurant was wonderful. Like, it was very slow service. I think they only had one server, and this poor lady had to work with everybody. And then I looked, and it was like the most elderly restaurant I've ever seen. Everyone was like in their 80s and 90s, and they all knew the server. They're like, oh, yeah, this is my son, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, did I accidentally walk into like a retirement home lunch? Like, what? That's what it felt like. Like, I accidentally, and I'm like, I'm not sure that I'm not. I'm sure they just sat me. They're like, oh, he must be waiting for his Nana to come down from upstairs. I'm like, did I walk into the wrong place? Oh, man. But yeah, had a good day. Did a lot of nothing. That's what I did. I thought about going to the gym, and then I didn't. But that counts, right? If you think about it. I packed 2 days worth of workout clothes. Like, I was going to work out yesterday and today. None of that happened. I'm going to be bringing back 2 very clean pairs of workout shirts, and my wife's going to be like, wait, you didn't work out? No, we had a FaceTime call at noon, and that blew my day. She called. I was thinking about going to the gym, and then she called me, and we FaceTimed for 30 minutes. I'm like, well, that's the gym right there. I was gonna walk on the elliptical for a minute. You know? That was a big yawn you just let out. Good Lord, did you just get out of work, buddy? That was. I thought you were laughing at me saying. What's that?
I work third shift. I woke up a couple hours.
Oh dear God, you're a real. I'm guessing this was your idea to come here. You are. Give that man a round of applause. Working graveyard shift.
You work third shift too.
Third shift too.
Why are you doing okay? Oh, you're just genuinely excited to see me, and he works third shift, but it was her idea.
Flipped over.
You just what?
I just flipped over a month ago.
What'd you do?
I flipped over to third a month ago.
You flipped over the you're using insider terms with me, buddy. I don't. You're over here using terms that they use at the mill, and I don't know that You're like, I just flipped into third shift a month ago, and I'm like, are we talking about motorcycles? What are we talking about? Where do you work?
Milwaukee. The asphalt.
Asphalt company. You're making asphalt?
No, I'm a diesel mechanic.
You're a diesel mechanic at an asphalt company. Every sentence out of you is more manlier than the last. That is amazing. I thought making asphalt was already manly, and he's like, I'm about to add diesel to it, all right? That is awesome. Yeah, yawn away, buddy. You're doing real work. I'm over here like, I had a headache earlier. If I go down, it's not part of the act. And they're like, I haven't slept since Tuesday, all right?
Oh, I feel it.
Oh.
I worked third shift for gosh. Oh boy. I want to say 15 years. And it was all right, you know. It was more peaceful at night, for one. And I was up most of the day anyway, because I would go to work third shift, and then I'd go to school at Wright State in the morning and be there until the afternoon. Get about 3 hours of sleep and do it all again. But so I got used to that, and unfortunately now I'm too used to that. So now I'm sleeping roughly 2 hours a night, even with the sleeping pill, which explains the bags under my eyes that have been getting worse and worse. Anyway, got off track a little bit.
Oh, man. It is the easiest job. I don't know why I complain about travel, because it is just a lot of sitting. If you think about it, like my life, there's not that much. Like I was in bed. I woke up at 4 a.m. I was laying down, and then my alarm went off, and I had to sit up. And then I had to get up, and I had to walk over to an Uber and sit down. And then I got to the airport, had to get up, get onto the plane, then I had to sit down. Then I landed here, I got up, got in another Uber, sat down. Then I got to the hotel, I'm like, man, I gotta take a nap, dude. That was I don't know what's going on at the asphalt plant, but that was a lot of sit and stand, make up your mind, you know? But yeah, it was a good holiday. I very much enjoyed it. Saw my family, hung out with my mom. It was smooth. Christmas was smooth. No political arguments. We did get into a giant fight because I almost paid $3.99 to rent a movie on Amazon Prime. Is that anyone else's family, or is that just my mom? What was that? You would have thought I brought up the election. I was like, let's watch Dumb and Dumber. And she's like, you're not going to pay $3.99? And I was like, why wouldn't I? And she started yelling, just yelling at me. And I'm like, I'm going to pay this $3.99.
All you gotta do is open up YouTube. You can watch that for free.
And then she's
For
like,
sure.
just buy it then. I'm like, all right, I'll buy it. She goes, $12.99? You're not buying that? I love my mom, but she's, she's old school. She's like, we don't pay for anything. I'm like, you used to take me to Blockbuster. How much was that? She goes, I don't remember.
$5, $6 a rental.
$3.99. I don't know. And then they charge you more because you didn't rewind. Became a whole situation. Anyway. Anyway, I want to.
Sound change.
Last thing I want to say is I want to thank you guys for helping me sell out tonight and last night. That meant.
Oh, okay. So he switched over to the second night. That's why the sound changed. Before he was talking about he sold out that night and the following night. Now he's saying the last night, and I get it. Makes sense.
Last thing I want to say is I want to thank you guys for helping me sell out tonight and last night. That meant a lot to me. It's the most amount of tickets we've sold here in Milwaukee. There is someone that's not here with us this time around. One of my biggest fans lived out here, Darlene. Yeah. Was it the cat? Yeah, the Happy Endings Cat Rescue. Darlene ran that. Hey, thank you guys so much for coming. Yeah, and Darlene was the president. Yeah, she was the president. And every time I would come to Milwaukee, she was the only fan that would email me every couple weeks and ask me how the tickets were selling. And she'd be like, "How are the tickets selling for Milwaukee?" And I'd give her an update. She goes, "I'll tell more people." Just the absolute sweetest person, and she would come to both shows, and she would send shots up, and she, just the biggest fan, such a supporter, such a sweet lady, and unfortunately she passed away last year, and so she's not here with us, but she would be so pumped to know that we sold out 2 shows. So cheers to Darlene. And
Great. Rest in peace. All right. Okay, he's walking off. I want to make sure that was it. Yeah, he's hilarious. I've enjoyed everything I've seen from him. He's got that energy about him. That I can't explain it, but you can. Not sure how to explain what I want to say. He's got the type of energy around him that I've seen with several other famous comedians. He doesn't move around a lot. That's not the kind of energy I'm talking about. It's just his facial expressions, his figures of speech. He reminds me of somebody, and I can't think of who it is. It's gonna bug the hell out of me until I do. But anyway, yeah, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this in the comments. I think you got too much into 2025, but he touched on the salient points. Anyway, like I said, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this in the comments. Let me know what else I need to check out, and I'll get there as soon as I can. If you're still here and haven't done so yet, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It'd be greatly appreciated. Helps the channel grow. That being said, that's just about gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this with me, and I hope to see you on the next one. Love you guys. Peace. Hey guys, make sure to check out one of my other videos right here at JitteryJay.